When it comes to increased Social Security benefits, one person in Congress is doing it more than anybody else. That is Representative John Larson, which I'm going to share with you a video clip, probably one of the best video clips on Social Security that we've seen all year, as 2023 was supposed to be the year of Social Security reform. Unfortunately, it did not come despite the dozens of Social Security bills in Congress. We haven't seen nothing done. But now that we're coming into an election year, things might change for the better in terms of increased Social Security benefits. So I'm going to play you this video clip from Representative John Larson.
Where do people who get Social Security checks spend their money? Right back in their district, right back in their home economy. And where are they? Where do you find them on that scale? They're usually, for the most part, the most neediest in our society that have to do this. And we're proposing,
who really dominates this clip and embarrasses a few members that you're going to see in a moment. But take a look at this. Social Security 2100 attempts to protect and expand. So this legislation would expand Social Security's modest benefits with no cuts and keep the system strong for decades. Now, when it comes to actually getting this done, unfortunately, nothing has been done for Social Security for the year of 2023. But you're not going to want to miss this video clip from Representative John Larson as he is pushing to increase Social Security benefits. Take a look at what Representative John Larson has to say here.
Mr. Larson, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and let me join with my colleague, Mr. Thompson, in applauding you for your convivial and congenial way that you always conduct these hearings in the inclusive manner. And this has been a fascinating and interesting. Mr. Hayes, I appreciated your opening comment, not being a doctor, et cetera, but neither is Mr. Norquist, but he just gave us a tour de force of what we need to know about economics. But let me start with FICA. What is that? Mr. Orbach?
Well, that is the payroll tax. That
it's a tax? What's it called?
I forget the words behind the acronym.
Is it Federal Insurance Contribution?
Right.
Whose?
Well, it was established by the Social Security Act to fund the Social Security system. At the time, there was no Medicare being funded by the payroll tax.
So, yes, but it's often called an entitlement. Is it an entitlement? Or is that an actual earned benefit that people pay for?
Well, it's actually somewhere in between.
Really? Where's the in-between?
Well, because the benefits that people get are related to the earnings on which they pay taxes, but only partially. And so it's...
The other part is paid by who?
Well, it's not so much that it's paid by whom, it's that there is redistribution within the system. Earners who are in the higher end of the payroll of the income, labor income distribution, receive lower benefits.
It was a way to balance out our capitalistic system after the Great Depression, and people saw what happened to individuals. And a way for us to make sure that in a system like ours, where we want to encourage people to go out and be entrepreneurial and invest, et cetera, then through no fault of their employees, when people fall through the cracks, that there was something there to protect and save them. When do you think the last time was Congress enhanced Social Security?
Well, to my knowledge, Social Security hasn't really changed since 1983.
Since 1971, actually. It did change. They did make some changes in '83, but they didn't enhance it. What they did is they moved to raise the age. And do you know, how many people know that for every year you raise the age, that cuts your Social Security benefit by 7%? So, and now we're taking great faith in the fact that we're living longer. So yeah, we're living longer and we're going to live on less? 21% across the board cuts have been proposed by our colleagues on the other side in a system that hasn't been enhanced, that preserves capitalism. How so? Well, first of all, where do people who get Social Security checks spend their money? Right back in their district, right back in their home economy. And where are they? Where do you find them on that scale? They're usually, for the most part, the most neediest in our society that have to do this. And we're proposing cutting these benefits from people, not enhancing them with money that they're going to spend right back in the economy. We're also proposing in our bill to give 23 million Americans a tax cut. Why? Because we agree with what you say, especially when the poor people get it. They actually invest it right back in their community. What a great thing during this time of economic development and uncertainty after a pandemic, and with regard to everything that's going on in the world as it relates to inflation. What a way for the little person to be able to help that. So now, Mr. Hayes, the fair tax, I have to say, it doesn't look as though it's going to help out an individual on Social Security. So I wanted to ask Dr. Berman whether or not, and I'll give you the chance to respond, because whether or not this, what would the how would the Social Security be replaced by the fair tax? What would it do? How would you compensate for that?
Well, fair tax would be, like actually any consumption tax, would be a big hit on retirees overall, although those on Social Security would be better off because their benefits are adjusted for inflation. People close to retirement age could have a big hit because basically their real wages would go down. So the wage base on which their benefits are calculated would now be a lot less valuable.
And Mr. Hayes, I took you sincerely. So how would you correct that?
Well, first of all,
would you end the Social Security program?
absolutely not.
Okay.
It's funded through the fair tax. When you look at the components of the 23%, which is the inclusive rate, like you do every other tax that you pass,
Right.
what
Wait a minute,
you've got
is that a tax or is that an insurance policy, Social Security?
it's an policy that's been agreed upon. I am on it. I don't want to lose it. You may be on it or soon, and you don't want to lose it, and most of the people that get it need it. So there's no reason not to. And if you cut evasion, $542 billion of unreported income, the IRS says, and you look at how much that represents in income, say 10% tax, it's $5 trillion of income. What's 15% of $5 trillion when you had an $85 billion deficit last year?
I know we just railed against the IRS, but they said in 2021 there's over $1 trillion that goes uncollected from cheats.
I believe it's more than that, but IRS published $542 billion unreported income. It's in my report.
Thank you. I'd like to talk with you further about that.
I'll be happy to. I'd love to.
As usual, very fiery speech from Representative Larson about Social Security. Let us know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Oh, sorry guys, I didn't see them. Can I tell you something? What I want to do is go to the moon. I need to go to the moon. Never mind. What do you want? Tell me in the comments below and see what you want. If you want to do something, then accomplishment. Do what you want, because that after you get too old to not do what you want. Oh, bye. The moon. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your support. If you want to see the latest bills, 2 bills in Congress that are changing Social Security, you're not going to want to miss this video right over here, as if you click that video, it'll go over 2 bills in Congress that could change Social Security checks, specifically SSI and something else. So you're not going to want to miss that. So click that video and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.